that we have on board. We have life jackets on board, and they are situated in cupboards on both decks, marked by the green signs. Life rafts are on the roof of the boat, and these all float free automatically or can be launched by a crew member. On the lower deck, emergency exits are clearly marked with green signs. We have a full first aid kit on board, and we are in constant radio contact with river authorities and also all the other boats that you see travelling up and down the Thames today. So there you go. Now then, on our way upstream to Westminster, we do pass quite a few places of interest, and to try and make the journey more enjoyable, I'll point these out. But I would point out that I am only a crew member. I'm not an official guide in any way, and I understand that some people on board, English is not your first language, or maybe you don't understand English, but I will try and talk as slowly as possible so that you can understand me. Well, first of all, we'll start over here on the left-hand side, and we have here the Tower of London, and this was started by William the Conqueror in 1078. He built the part in the centre, which is the White Tower, otherwise known as the Norman Keep. And then after William the Conqueror, the Tower of London was added to by the different reigning kings and queens. And in its time, it's been a fortress, a palace, a prison, a zoo, a royal mint, and it now houses the crown jewels, guarded by the famous beefeaters. On the river wall in front of the tower here, you can see the words "Entry to the Traitors' Gate." And now, many years ago, traitors, after they were found guilty up at the Palace of Westminster, the Houses of Parliament, they would be rowed down the Thames in a waterman's boat, taken up through the once open archway, led up onto the block on Tower Hill, where they would have their heads surgically removed with a rusty old axe. Their heads were then stuck on spikes on the approach to the old London Bridge, and that would be a deterrent to any would-be traitors. So there you go. There's over 900 years of British history over on our left-hand side here, the Tower of London. And ahead of us now we have Tower Bridge, known throughout the world as a symbol of London. And Tower Bridge is a combined suspension and bascule bridge. Now that means the part in the centre, which makes up the roadway, is two spans, and they split in the middle, and they can be raised and lowered like two giant drawbridges to allow large ships up and down through the bridge. Now, many years ago, the River Thames was much busier than what you see it today. And this bridge used to be opened and closed 20, sometimes even 30 times every day. But pedestrians could still cross the river when the bridge was in the open position by climbing up inside the towers and walking across the top walkways that you see there. Now that was stopped in 1911 because of too many suicides. They earned the nickname Suicide Leap. But about 15 years ago, they reopened the top walkways of Tower Bridge as a tourist attraction. So if you want to jump off there now, it costs you £10.50. Okay, we've now turned the boat round and we are heading inward bound, okay, away from the sea. The sea is behind us, 50 miles, the North Sea is behind us. Okay, ahead and to the left-hand side, we have the warship HMS Belfast. And HMS Belfast was built in Belfast in Ireland in the Harland and Wolff shipyard in 1938. She was commissioned in 1939, and her main armament consists of 12 6-inch guns, each of which is capable of firing a shell 14 land miles, which is not much by today's standards, but a very powerful ship in her day. HMS Belfast opens 7 days a week as a museum ship. Over to our right hand side, ahead and to our right now, we have a long white building behind the trees, and this is Water Guard House, and it's the headquarters for Her Majesty's Customs and Excise. So it's also beneath this building that they have the vaults where they store the contraband that is seized coming into England. So if you came into England and you have too many cigarettes or too much alcohol or drugs, it will be seized